What? We're becoming a movie. Before opening the car door at a university parking lot, a student twists open a capsule of orange powder and arranges it in a neat line on his armrest. They lean over, close one nostril, and snort the powder. Throughout the parking lot, the student reported that 8 of his friends did the same thing. According to the New York Times, June 6, 2012, the drug was not cocaine or heroin, but Adderall, an amphetamine prescribed for attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, that the student said he and his friends use to study all night, help focus during tests, and ultimately get the grades worthy of the investment into their higher education. Smart drugs are seen as assets to learning, but in reality, smart drugs are dangerous for students to use. With careful research, I have found information that will show the hazards students face with using illegal prescriptions in an attempt to improve their academic standing. I will first give statistics about the number of students who use them, and then I will address the supposed benefits of using them, and finally tell of the dangers that accompany their usage. Understanding this information will help students make informed decisions about using smart drugs for themselves. First, I will show the number of students impacted in our schools. The website Sober Living, updated in October 2011, stated that the use of smart drugs rose from 6% in 2006 to 25% in 2011, and the trend continues in 2012. Reported in the Albany Times-Union, September 4, 2012, the students' use has risen as high as 34%. As part of a hidden camera investigation, on May 11, 2011, the Today Show intern visited a college looking to score some pills. After just minutes after walking to the library, they found a student willing to help. After they walked to the back of the library, the student sold a 25 milligram pill for just $5. Now that I have told how many students are using smart drugs, I can explain why they are using smart drugs. There are 2 contributing factors that drive students to the use of smart drugs: academic pressures and misunderstood benefits. The Albany Times reports in September 27, 2012, that on colleges across the United States, higher education has become a high-stake, competitive game combining academic, parental, peer, and mostly socially or self-imposed pressures, with academic success being measured by grades, and with the competition over jobs where academic excellence can make or break an applicant's chance. Students feel that the traditional hard work, discipline, and perseverance along the way just won't be enough. The second factor that leads students to smart drugs is the claim that they give the students the ability to study for long periods of time without fatigue and an increased focus during their tests. This offers a great temptation for students to resort to drugs to stay alert while studying during final exams. One student's response to smart drugs was reported in the New York Times, June 6, 2012, saying that just one pill can jolt with the energy and focus to push through all-night homework binges and stay awake during exams afterwards, claiming that it's like it does your work for you. I have explained how many students are using smart drugs and what their reasons are, so now I can describe the bad side effects from usage and the negative outcomes associated with the drugs. In the previous quoted Today Show, Stephen Odom, a drug abuse counselor, stated that these drugs are a highly addictive substance, and when you play with highly addictive substances, you ultimately get burnt. For all intents and purposes, Adderall is speed. They are putting something in their bodies that make them feel okay, but in reality they're not. And the next thing you know, they're spinning out of control. NBC News reported of a story about one student's reaction to smart drugs in May of 2011. A freshman honors student named Laura decided to start taking smart drugs in an attempt to keep up with her schoolwork. Within weeks, she became addicted, buying several pills a day. Soon, her grades began to spiral down. as Laura was suffering from the drug's side effects: mood swings, insomnia, panic attacks, and depression. Psychiatrist Scott Ailes from the University of California states that when smart drugs are not used for attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, taking Ritalin or Adderall is similar to taking speed. They cause people to be irritable, anxious, and if they take too much, they can become psychotic. Now let me summarize what we have learned. I have explained that this problem is widespread in colleges and detailed just how many students are using smart drugs. Then we looked at the supposed benefits students thought the use of smart drugs gave them, and I concluded with the health and academic consequences from their use. Now we can clearly see that while smart drugs are seen as assets to learning, in reality, smart drugs are dangerous for students to use. Understanding this information will help students make informed decisions about using smart drugs for themselves. All students, those in university parking lots snorting their smart drugs, or curious bystanders, need to be taught that smart drugs do not give them an academic advantage. They simply need to learn that the abuse and misuse of prescription drugs is anything but smart. In fact, they need to learn that it's just plain dumb.